Do you feel that they're getting a lot out of club? I mean, you play for the Soul, so you kind of understand the whole idea of club and country.
Yeah.
Do you feel as if club ball kind of hurts school ball in a sense? Because also, on the Heritage and the boys side, they lost eight to MLS Next.
Yes.
And so, do you think that club ball, in a way, still benefits them in the end, or does it, and while hurting school ball? If that makes sense.
I think it depends what club they're at. Some club coaches are phenomenal, and other club coaches, I hear things that like the girls, I teach them something here, and they're like, well, we don't know this, and it's like down to the basics, like a tactical thing where like we just force one way. And I've had multiple conversations with players like that, but I've also had multiple conversations with other players at like great clubs that tell me like, oh yeah, I get this makes sense, and they transitioned into it quick because they've practiced it. It's familiar with them.
We have girls coming probably from 3 different clubs, at least here at Liberty, playing with different styles that they play with at their clubs. So getting them to understand what we want them to do. It is a process, but we're training almost every day. We're getting them to understand the way that we want them to play, because that's the next level. If they are planning on going to college and playing in college, and even beyond that, they've got to be able to make those adjustments and adapt to what the coach or coaching staff is asking of them. So we get them ready for that.
It's difficult, especially since we're not always on the same page, and like we come from different styles of play, and it's just like that transition is not the easiest, but it's also not the hardest, because we all understand each other's backgrounds and we're all going through the same thing, and that brings us together. But we all get out here, and just some of us play in the same club, so even that transition, it makes it even easier. We all relate to each other, playing the same like bigger leagues or like GA and ECNL, so we all just like understand like each person's background and where they're coming from, so it makes the transition like a bit easier.
How difficult has it been to kind of get everyone together? I don't know how many different clubs y'all at, but to get everyone together 2 games later, you have your first match, and kind of really learning each other on the go. How difficult has that been?
In the beginning, it was tough, just because the whole, like, all of November kind of thing, as we're still trying out, we still have club season. And so right as, like, December 1st, I think that's when everyone's games kind of ended, it was more like, okay, we're all here together. We had our first team bonding last Friday, and that was a good chance to really kind of just be in one place as a team, and kind of, though we weren't all talking in one big group, it was still, we got to hear some conversations, who people are like, and just kind of get to know each other about like outside of soccer. And so chemistry, like it's been going good with chemistry, and it's very easy to talk to these girls on this team.
I think we've done a lot more team bonding, and we've had more practices, and the girls like know each other now. They are joking with each other. So I think our team chemistry on and off the field is significantly better from the start of this season.
The transition's more just knowing who you're playing with, because you have girls, like you said, from a lot of other clubs, and they have different playing styles. So it's more getting to know them, how they play, how their mind is at. Obviously, me being a keeper, it's a lot different than if like a defender was playing with other defenders. But it's more just kind of understanding how our team plays, and over time, especially since we're all with each other like basically 6 days a week almost, you slowly start to get to learn them a lot more, and it's not as big of like a transition since we play with each other a lot more frequently than we do club. It is challenging at times, because I'm still trying to gauge their speed, and there were games in the like the beginning half of our preseason where I would come out and I wouldn't fully trust my defense. But slowly, as we've done practices and I've learned their speed and we've done different drills, I've come to learn just how much more they can do, and I can kind of hold my line a little bit, be patient. So it's just more me just trusting them and understanding like how they play and what speed they have.
We had a lot of girls playing different styles of soccer, and so I kept telling them at practice, like, this is how we're playing. And honestly, if you don't play like this, you're not playing. I don't care how good you are, because you can play the game that you play in club all day, but as a unit at Heritage Soccer, we play a 1-2 touch pass and move, make those runs. So they kind of understood that going into Saturday, and that's when we saw our game change for sure. It was an unfortunate tie, but it is what it is. And today they finally executed it. As you saw, it was a lot of touch movement. They had beautiful possession in the first half, and then we held off a little bit second half, but I'm proud of them.